Hi. Sometimes when I start getting really excited about the progress I'm making, I start to wish I could speed things up a bit. I start to wish that some of the things that I would want to have now, I start really wishing I could have them right now. And the problem with that comes up for me is that it makes me lose sight of all the progress I've just made. Maybe all the progress I've just made in that day or in the last week. And that happens because when we start making progress, we get excited, we get happy, we start getting hopeful. And so we start building up a lot of energy, a lot of reserves that make us then think, well, since I'm feeling so great, since I'm making this great progress, maybe I shouldn't be lacking anymore in certain areas. Maybe I should start seeking certain areas that before I was just waiting for and giving time. And this challenge reminds me of a quote that I was meditating on last year, the beginning of last year. And that quote is, "The dream of Los Angeles is right now." What that means is that the dream that, say, you have in your mind, say in this case, the dream of Los Angeles, of my time here in Los Angeles, that dream is already happening. That dream is right now. It's already out there. And remembering this reminds me that I shouldn't feel like I suddenly have to rush just because I find myself making progress, just because I find myself feeling excited, that the dream that I'm looking for, the dream that I'm waiting for, it's already out there, it's happening, it's right now, and that's gonna continue to be there. And that what I should do is recenter and refocus around my progress, around what has been helping me, and stay consistent with that. Stay consistent with what has been working. Stay consistent with what is giving you the results that you want, and just find a way to enjoy that extra excitement. Find other ways to enjoy that extra happiness. Other ways besides wanting to rush, other ways besides wanting to suddenly reach for opportunities that before you already said, hey, I'm giving time for that, I'm not going to worry about that. Well, when that extra happiness comes because something goes right, because you're making progress, find a way to enjoy that happiness and that progress without letting your mind drift into areas that you actually have closed right now, areas that you are giving time for. So bring your happiness back to today and say, what can I do today to just enjoy some of that extra excitement that I have with me? And remember to stay consistent and to stay focused on what is working, what is actually allowing you to make those steps that you're noticing your results in. So my quote or mantra is, the dream of Los Angeles is right now. And you can come up with a quote for yourself. The dream of, and then continue that quote, finish that quote, and then end that quote with is right now, to remind yourself that you have time, but what's important is to stay consistent, because that is what is your source of happiness. That is what is your source of excitement, and that you have many ways to enjoy that happiness and that excitement without putting more pressure and without putting higher expectations on yourself than what you're able to meet, say, today. And I also want to just enjoy another quote that I came across throughout my years of study, particularly in philosophy and mythology, culture. And this is a quote that is describing a scholar of mythology that maybe many of us have come across, and that is the work of Joseph Campbell, who who is associated with words such as archetype, hero's journey, and mythology. And the quote says that it's actually it's a quote that was stated about Joseph Campbell and his work. And what that quote is you have to, just as Joseph Campbell was, and of course continues through his work, you have to be like a beaming flashlight into the darkness. Let me say that again. You have to be like a beaming flashlight into the darkness. And what I love about this quote and how it connects to my quote is sometimes when we do feel that desire to want to rush into opening up our dream further than what we might be ready to, that's kind of what we're doing. We're kind of like, our mind is searching for how can we open up our dream a bit more. If our dream is like this mystery that we're trying to reach, and we're looking into it and we're trying to figure out, okay, how can I open this dream up more? Now that I've made all this progress, now that I'm feeling excited, how can I open up my dream more? Well, there's two ways I wanted to, well, there's another way actually that I want to take a look at this quote and how these two quotes are connected. And the first way is similar to what I was just going over, as far as finding other ways to enjoy happiness, finding other ways to enjoy excitement other than wanting to put more pressure or higher expectations that may not be ready for say the season that you find yourself in. So the way that this quote is connected is, if you're beaming a flashlight not into your dream but maybe into other areas of your life. So you have, like, for example, you have your professional dream, but then you also have other areas of your life, such as wellness, or could be relationships. What would it be to take a flashlight, say, or take a look into those other areas of your life and see how you can begin opening up some other areas? Because, of course, when you're working on a professional dream, you don't want to forget about all the other areas of your life. You don't want to forget about your friendships. You don't want to forget about your wellness, your health. So this is a perfect time when you have that extra excitement or extra happiness. It's a great time to look into some other areas of your life. The second way that I wanted to connect these two quotes is sometimes part of the reason why we do feel so much pressure when it comes to fulfilling one of our dreams is because in some way we're hoping that dream just kind of comes to us in some way. We're hoping to be in the right place at the right time, or we're hoping to suddenly get resources that we need. And so this quote reminds us that usually dreams don't work that way, that usually resources don't just show up. Usually it's not just about being in the right place at the right time, that when you find yourself really pursuing something of your own, that it does take time and it is a journey. And you don't want to put added pressure or add higher expectations than what you're ready for. So what you can do is, again, look into your dream and see how. So looking into your dream, or see the ways that you are able to notice that there is that there are. So if there's areas that are not necessarily a part of your professional dream, such as wellness or relationships, well, there are areas, say, within your dream that by, say, again, being inspired by the quote, being like a flashlight. And if you take a look into your dream, you might notice that you see areas where maybe what you originally see as an opportunity out there, something that you're waiting for out there, that maybe you can start to see that there are places where you're actually able to create something, or you're actually able to make something happen. It's something to think about, because sometimes when it comes to having a dream, we can really be waiting for something out there to happen. Like we can, be waiting for, like, for example, be waiting for a certain date, like a certain occasion, a certain event. And we tell ourselves, okay, well, when that date comes or when that event happens, well, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I need. That's to say progress. And that's a very common feeling, to feel that way, that once a certain condition is met, well, then your dream's going to happen. And so this quote reminds us that our dreams are kind of already happening in a way, and it's up to us to see that, and to see how we can actually step into that space. So instead of kind of hoping and waiting for that space to come to us, that there are ways that we can sort of step into that. It's something to think about. It's really something to think about, the difference between waiting for something to kind of come to you, or not necessarily just waiting, but kind of hoping something is going to happen, that hoping perfect conditions are going to happen, and see what it would be like to say that those conditions are really already there, and it's a matter of you. It's a matter of you to see that those conditions are already there, to see that that you're able to step into a certain opportunity, that you're able to step into that, as opposed to waiting for that to arrive to you. So it's just something to think about, that you have to be like a beaming flashlight, to kind of discover and to kind of see that oftentimes what we are hoping for and what we are desiring is somehow already there. It's a matter of seeing that and stepping into that. And then I like to close with a little bit more encouragement for stepping into well, not just stepping into and experiencing and progressing, but also sometimes we have to remind ourselves why, why stay motivated, why stay inspired, why stay consistent, and that does come up. Sometimes days are challenging or seasons are challenging, and we have to remind ourselves, why are we taking our time? Why are we, sometimes we feel like we're holding back. Why are we holding back? And something to think about in terms of why create something for yourself, and why pursue something for yourself. And that is simply to discover who you are and who you would like to be. And it's something, again, to think about. It's a simple idea, a simple quote, to discover who you are and who you would like to be. And this may be important simply because it's there's also a common expression that in order to know anything in life, you have to know yourself. That it's hard to say read a book, or it's hard to read a poem and really understand it and feel like you know it if you don't understand where you're coming from, if you don't understand yourself and understand your own desires and understand your own challenges and understand what you have learned about yourself, about life. So pursuing a dream and staying consistent and finding ways to enjoy your happiness, and finding ways to stay motivated and inspired, that all that is a part of discovering who you are and also who you want to be, so that when we do step out into the world, we're excited to step out into the world, that we're excited about what the day may bring us, we're excited about new relationships, and that we stay excited and inspired about current relationships, and feel a true sense of meaning and purpose in life. So I hope you enjoyed these messages, and that when it comes to experiencing progress, and when it comes to feeling the excitement and happiness that comes from progress, that doesn't suddenly make you want to go out and put added pressure, or to start adding expectations, but instead that is inspiration to enjoy other areas of your life and find other ways to experience yourself and to experience that happiness. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're having a great day, and continue to just think about some of these ideas.